We've just been recording about half an hour of the Director's Chair podcast, and it was not recording. We go again.
Welcome back to another episode of the Director's Chair podcast. Today we're joined with Blue Boredom.
Yo, Blue Boredom.
So yeah, to start off, bro, like, how did you find yourself with the camera in your hand and find yourself as a filmmaker, I guess?
It's something that I decided I wanted to do when I was like 14, I guess. I came from like a skateboarding background. I did drama and all that in school. I wanted to be an actor, but probably about when I was 14, I was like, I think I want to be a director. So in turn, I went to study it at uni. I was doing the uni course. It was all right. Until I was getting towards my third year, and I was thinking like, this ain't really filming. This ain't really feeling like I'm getting into the film industry. Do you know what I mean? I was thinking, how am I really gonna get into it? So I went home one weekend. My sister had a camera that my mum had got her, and she basically never used it. So I brought that back to uni with me, and I started doing like photos of my mates at pre-drinks and when we were all chilling. And then one time one of my friends called Kaya, she said to me, she's like, oh yeah, we're going to this event, Baghdad, and why don't you ask me if you could bring your camera? And basically I asked them, and it's like, I bring it. So I came and did the photos, and I sent it to them. And then the next handle was like, oh yeah, like these are really nice, like come back, we'll pay you £50 next time. So obviously I was super gassed because I'm like getting paid £50 just to do photos, you know. But it's like this second time I did it though, I thought, let me be a bit more intentional with it though, because I didn't even say this before, like there was these artists that was there, like Sheffield artists, Cade Online, Young Arts, Sliderverse, that whole crew. And I thought like, yeah, let me like take their photos as well, like get hard pictures of them as they're performing, because they did like a little performance. I sent it to them and they was like, yeah, this is cold. So then now, 3 weeks later, they're saying, oh yeah, we're doing a show supporting Russ at the O2. So then it was like, yeah, come do our photos for that. So then I was like, sick. So now I'm doing the Russ thing, and them, obviously. But then into the filmmaking, the turning point was because, obviously I was taking these photos of Russ and that, and I remember there was one point, like, he was saying, like, oh yeah, like, last photos, whatever. He's standing there, posted up, doing his photos. I'm trying to take a picture, but my camera it's old, innit? So it's a bit booky. So obviously, I'm taking a picture, but it's not taking the picture. And he left. And I was like, no way. Like, I've missed my chance for, like, the perfect portrait. And that sounds like I need to get a new camera in it. Birthday came, my mum and my sister and myself, we all put money together to get me a camera. And then I started the video journey.
Yeah, it's them things that felt like the end of the world. That felt like the end of the career, and
Worst
in the moment,
moment.
you're just like, oh, I've ruined it. I was gonna be this and that. But
you get me? So I had like a couple of like all right pictures that I got to post on Insta. I think like because like it's Russ or whatever at the time, everyone's just like rah Russ. So like it's still, you know what I mean, it still helped push me forward a bit. Yeah.
So as you've had your journey into filmmaking now, what's something you found that's your deeper like passion within it? What do you love about doing it?
I think what I love the most about it is just that like I can kind of tell a story through my mind. You know, someone will send me a song, especially if it's a song that I really I sit with and it feels good to me. Because naturally, if I hear a song, like whatever the genre, like sometimes if I'm sitting there, my mind just starts picturing things. So being able to do that and translate that over to an artist or a brand or whatever, and they're like, yeah, like this is amazing, like that feels good. So yeah, it's just being able to do that, and I guess like, you know, I'm my own boss as well. Do you know what I mean? Like I've never had a 9 to 5. I went straight into this from uni. There, like it was about from shooting by myself like 10 months. Before I finished, I was already kind of doing it full time. So I guess it's also all I've ever known.
Yeah. What would you say is like? I hate to use this term, but what's like a music video ick? Like, what do you see in people's work and it's just sort of like, ugh, he ruined it.
Tacky effects. The man that know how to do it properly, big up you, man. But tacky effects, man. Like,
it's often used to save shit cinema videography.
Yeah, often, yeah. Like that's what I've noticed, innit? And obviously to the eye that doesn't really understand art, they'll think that's hard, innit? Like, do you know what I mean? They'll think it's
cool,
hard.
it's something different. It's like,
Yeah, exactly. But I think there's a time and a place for it, like, coming up, I never used to do it because one, I never knew how to do it. And I also didn't have the budgets at the time to outsource someone else to do it. So I kind of just focused on, right, cool, let me make sure that the cinematography or videography of the video is that good and the colors that good that people are seeing this more like, right, yeah, this is like a movie. It doesn't need effects. Yeah. That's kind of what I managed to push forward. And, it also allowed me to get more projects done faster because I'm not messing around on After Effects doing all this stuff. Like, I'm just chopping together nice clips.
Yeah, I came in the game like opposite. I came in the game effects heavy. I built my client base because I'm that guy that does the effects. And then when I tried to escape that realm, it's like, yo, bro, where are the effects gone? I'm like, it's not everyday effects.
It's hard, like, because it's kind of like, obviously what you put out there is what you're gonna attract more, innit? Do you know what I mean? It's like, for example, I've done a lot of drill stuff, done other genres as well, but obviously with that you're gonna attract more of the drill and that type of stuff. Do you know what I mean?
And like you said, I'm not saying that effects are bad. Like they have, like you said, they've got the time and their place, but I feel like the wave of the rotoscope effects and paper effects and just like with the right song and when it's done to the beat right and stuff, it can work. But
obviously with the rise of like the New York drill videos, like it makes sense for that.
Yeah,
because those are just mad in it. That's what it's all about, really, and all that heavy doom 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 doom. That's like a Jersey beat, but you get me. You know what I'm trying to say in it, like.
So yeah, when you said about like you enjoy making the movie and like getting the story from your head out there on the video, do you what are your thoughts on like a run and gun style of shooting compared to like concept work? Do you prefer run and gun, or do you prefer solid concept, storyboard and team and to more of the industry way of making a video?
Okay, yeah. To be honest, I think like it's very dependent on the song. If it's a song that I can just see that's it feels very heavily performance based, then I think like, yeah, we'll go for run and gun style. Especially as well if we don't have that much time behind us, like, because doing the production crew type of shoots obviously takes time with the planning and all that type of stuff. And obviously you can still go for like a run and gun style with those type of shoots as well, but obviously everything's got to be like more carefully thought out and all that type of stuff. But it's hard to say which one I prefer, really. I think you learn a lot from doing your bigger budget productions. You learn more about being a director and actually being super careful about your shots. But I guess like I've kind of, I don't know, I feel like I got really good at these run and guns as well, that people really like that from me as well. And I can always just try to make each one a little bit different by trying maybe this camera trick here, that this camera movement, or do you know what I mean?
I do find run and guns fun, and especially like you kind of go into it with no expectation of what this is going to.
Yeah.
To be fair, the majority of the times you go into it, you might be feeling like, oh, what's this fit gonna be? But then like by the end of the day, you're like, all right, we got some sick shots and things that you never thought you was gonna do.
Exactly, I was gonna say that. I think sometimes like the video can even be better sometimes because you can be more creatively freedom with it because creatively free with it because like
you're not tied down to the idea that you
yes, exactly had. Setup times don't take as long, so you can just be like, yeah, boom, that looks kind of hard, let's do a shot, just stand there 1 second, let's do a shot like this. I always say for my run and gun ones, innit, like give me like 3 locations or something, 4 locations. When we get to it, my eyes will just see like what's a good angle, what's a good shot, and like we'll do like, I don't know, 4 different takes there or whatever, go to the next one. And then I'll just try and do little shots in between as well that can kind of still tie it in though to be a story and not just scene after scene after scene. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah.
During your run and gun shoots, and I know some crazy stuff happens because I've been on them myself. What are some client shoot stories that you won't mind sharing?
Yeah. The first one I can think of that wasn't, well, it was quite a while ago now. In a nutshell, artist ops came to the shoot. I saw like some mopeds going about, and I'm thinking like, I thought it was all part of the group in it. So I wasn't thinking of anything of it until they pulled up and started interrogating the artist basically. And I could feel in the air it was getting a bit hot. So these hands I'm packing up really slowly, like just, you know what I'm saying. Until next, you know, they've left, it's diffused, they've come back with more guys, and then all of a sudden, like, Shetties have started getting backed out, and man are trying to, do you know what I'm saying? So I've just legged it. And then I hear 2 gunshots go off. I'm thinking, yo, like, what is this, innit? So obviously, like, we're just like, yeah, the shoot's done, innit? Do you know what I mean? My man apologized about it, bears and all that. Like, he's a calm guy still. It's just, you get me, wrong place, wrong time. And I guess, like, yeah, just like more gun stuff, innit? I need to stop seeing guns on shoots, basically. Like, the 2 words go hand in hand, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, please, you man, don't invite me to shoots if there's a possibility of your ops rolling up, because I'm not trying to, you know what I'm saying?
It's the one downfall of the drill vids. Well, one of many of the downfalls of drill vids.
And that's kind of what I was even saying before about the attraction thing, because like these things have happened, and things I like drill music, but it's like it's just a bit dangerous, you know. Like, I recently had a situation. I did a shoot for some artists, and not knowing I'd done one of their ops video last year, so that op that I did first, I was saying ops and that, but you get me, like, he had a problem about it, so obviously he started like coming at me with a whole load of like shit for it, basically. I don't know if I can swear. But he basically came with like a whole load of stuff like coming at me about it. I was like, bro, like, I don't know, innit? Like, I'm just a creative, innit?
We're not involved.
I'm not involved, bro. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, so it's just a bit long, man.
Yeah, don't get it twisted. Like, man, them like can be some of the most respectful guys. Like they're not just some of them are just purely hot-headed and like just jail mindset. But like a lot of them are like the most respectful guys you meet. But
yes, 1000%.
it's just like, yeah, there's a time and a place for their life, and like trying to make a movie and trying to do our creative work. It's not meant to be around that world.
Yeah, because even at the end of the day, like, you deep it, like, if anything was to go down or anything, like, I don't know, you're so angry, like, at the same time, like, remember, we're just having fun at the end of the day. Like, we're making a video. That's what it really boils down to. This is a video, a creative effort between us both to make something out for your music. Yeah. Why is it going down any other route it has to go? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you've worked with quite a lot of people now in the scene. Who are some of your favorite people? Who've you made some of your favorite music videos with?
I'd say off the top of my head, like, there's been a lot, man. I've done like 246 videos now. Well, that are out anyways. There's a few more in the locker. But top of my head, I'd say Cannon and Raquel. They're both from like Sheffield area. We got a video that's coming out soon. Like, I rate working with them a lot, man. Like, they're easy to work with. Everyone's all like on board and that creatively. When Mostack in Dubai, that was good when we did our shoots there. Recently doing one for JB, Hoodstar JB. Yeah, I enjoyed working with him. My boy Nems, he's cold. Muggy Mugs, French the Kid. I recorded a video at one of his shows. I've been doing a fair bit with Blanco as well from Harlem Spartans as well. He's great to work with as well, man. Like, he's a good guy.
What are some of your favorite videos in particular from working with these guys, or what is your favorite video that you've worked on?
Let me see, my favorite video. Do you know what, actually? I'd say one of my favorite videos that I worked on was my advert for my clothing brand, actually. So I'm plugging my clothing brand now, yeah. But that was one of the coolest things, because like, I'm into like the fashion world as well. Do you know what I mean? So that was probably one of my favorite ones. Another one was Nems's Elevate. That was fun, completely run and gun. Had like 2 locations or something. And obviously that was the video that kind of like blew him up, and in turn kind of helped me like grow as well. I did a really fun one for ours in Manchester. He came up to Manchester, basically, was in the studio, he got a bit waved and he decided he wanted to shoot a video. So I just got the call. I must have been out and it was like someone, and I was like, oh, ours is shouting with you, isn't it? So like, he didn't even know all the words at the time either.
Yeah,
like,
so it was a spontaneous one.
Yeah. But it was cold. Like, the video ended up being cold. And I did one for Pete and Baz as well, like last year. That was fun. You know the 2 old men?
Yeah,
Pete and Baz.
of course.
Yeah. That was a 6 shoot as well, man.
Was that the one on the basketball court or something?
Yeah, and like a volleyball court.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, it was just mental, man. But yeah, man, it's hard to say that I've got a lot of favorite videos. You know what I mean? I got a lot. But yeah, they're the ones off the top of my head.
You mentioned your clothing brand. Have you always been into fashion, or is it something that you like stumbled across recently and you're like, oh, I quite like this?
Yeah, to be honest, I've always been into fashion. I've always said if I didn't study film, I'd have studied fashion, to be fair. It's always been a thing of mine, and it's like well within my family as well. Everyone's all like stylish and that. But I just never actually made a start with making my own clothes. You know what I mean? I always wanted to do it, but I never got around to it until like this year. But you know, I started the whole video thing though really to go into fashion. You know, I wanted to be a director. I wanted to do like Burberry adverts and Gucci and Louis Vuitton and Nike and Adidas.
I love the Burberry adverts.
Yeah,
seeing
man.
like the one in the field where like
And they all start floating.
they're on the cranes, and they just start
Yeah,
floating and, like,
yeah. Like I love that, like those conceptual things, and I don't know, man. That I know deep down that's where my heart's really at. Do you know what I'm saying? I kind of fell into music, and I love music.
Yeah.
I still wanna always do it, but I know like what really like makes my hair stand up. Do you know
If
what
you
I'm saying?
was say you was like trapped in a warehouse like this, and you couldn't leave it for a month, and you're not getting paid no matter what project would you take on? And you can invite, obviously if it was fashion, you can invite the models and what to the set. But what sort of video do you think you'd make if you have the answer?
So I'm trapped in a warehouse.
Yeah,
Is it black? Is there any lights?
you've got full creative, like you can make the video whatever you want. What would be your ideal video? What would you want to spend your time on in that month?
Jesus.
It's a bit of a like open question, so like keep the answer short, whatever it be. Fashion, music. Video.
Okay. Oh, I'll make a fashion video then. I'll make some proper weird, edgy fashion video with like some next concept that's just gonna leave everyone like, what the hell was that about? But then like you gotta read the reviews to hear what it was about.
Do you prefer that sort of filmmaking where you're watching it and it's like you don't really know the answer to it, but there is an answer just deep down in there, or do you prefer something that's like here's the answer and it's just
I think I like the one where like you gotta like really think about it. You gotta watch it a certain way. You might have to watch it a couple times. Like Black Mirror, yeah. Black Mirror, like it's very subliminal and all that type of stuff. Like I'd do something like that.
Going back to clients. Going back to clients, not particularly just in the music video world, but just clients in general. What are some red flags that pop up that you see and you're like, oh, I know this might be a headache, or what have I got myself into?
Yeah, I think like one of the ones is people that I just know try to cut costs too much. You know, they come with me like with a big idea, and I'm like, okay, well, we can make this work, but like, what's your budget? And you know, the budget's this, and then I'm like, okay, cool, you might need like lighting, and then like, oh yeah, like now my boy's got like a light in it, like, he can pattern it. And my boy's got a drone as well, so what's it gonna be then if my boy patterns a drone and my boy patterns you know what I'm trying to say? Like trying to do all that.
It's not gonna take long. It's only gonna be like 2 hours.
You know what I mean?
Like, you
like
go on the shoot and you're there all day.
You get me? They're waiting for their boy for 10 minutes who's gonna take 3 hours. Like, you know what I mean?
Man, them here that make sure your boys like you know how much stuff we have to pattern beforehand to get to a shoot.
You know what I mean?
And man, them can't even get organized to turn up on time, and not even just on time, just within an hour. Like,
yeah. And I think another one's just when like an artist is just being a little bit too hands-on. I like it when someone comes to me with like a bit of an idea of what they want, and you know, and they know what they want. But I think, have the vision. But when it starts getting technical, you don't really start telling us like what to do. Like this is our profession. Like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have a bit of trust in that factor. But yeah, man.
What's something that you see in people's videos and you're like, you shouldn't have done that. You could have done that better. Something you see in guys' videos that you just know they're sort of at the start of their career, I suppose.
I used to do it as well. You know, like car shots, and maybe they put like a tube light underneath the car, and like you can see the tube light in the shot, and that type of stuff.
Yeah, you can see lights. All of my first videos, you can see light panels in the back.
Yeah.
Like,
literally, I used to do that. And I think another one, dogs. Dogs, like the dog thing, like it's played out now as well. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, the dogs. I've never really been on it.
Especially like when they're just uncontrollable and they're not even facing the camera.
Not facing
there's
the
just
camera.
one guy in the back holding the leash. The dog's like just trying to walk off down there.
Yeah, that's one of them. I don't know, you know, stealing my ideas, stealing my style.
It's a slimy industry.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like I get it because like my videos are sick.
Take it as a compliment, bro. Take it as a compliment.
I'm joking. Nah, because obviously, you know, like obviously, I've like kind of stolen ideas from certain people and all that type of stuff. But you gotta find your own style, man. Do you know what I mean? That's what it is. You gotta find your own style and just make that as good as you can in it. Yeah, man.
What's something that you know now that you wish you knew sooner?
Ooh. Don't take everything personal, I'd say. Like, sometimes you might not get a job and you felt like you should get it, but you didn't. But you don't know what's going on behind the scenes as to why you didn't get it, you know? Sometimes I even still have to remind myself that. And also just don't be like, you know, be a good person or that, innit? But don't like be like a pushover, because people will take advantage if you don't like put your foot down in certain things. Like, people will take advantage, and just make everything clear from the start of what this person is going to get from you and what you require of them, so there's no mix-ups afterwards. Just make everything as clear as possible, even if you feel like by you saying this, you might be a bit put off by using you for this or whatever. Like, just be straight up, man. Be transparent.
Yeah, definitely. It's a little thing of mine, but like when the artist comes back and like they want a promo video, and like fair enough, yeah, it's not going to take me too long to cope a promo, and then they want it out now, and then they want it out soon, but they'll message you on the day like, oh, I need it out soon now, bro. And like, bro, like, what do you think? I just walk around with my PC? Like?
Oh, yeah. Right, man. That is the worst, you know. And it's the worst, yeah, when I've been asking them, oh, bro, send me the things that can make you your thing, or let me know what section you want of the video for the out now so that I can do it for you. And then, yeah, on the day now they're saying they want it. And then now they're getting on to me, oh, bro, blah, blah, blah. Like, do you know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, like, I've been asking you for the week. Like, you can't now come on to me. So, like, do you know what I'm saying? Artists, man, do better, please. Not all of you like this, though.
No, we love you, bro, but like...
Yeah. Just, you get me? Like, be courteous.
I know the answer to this can very easily be clients, but the last two guests have both said this. So, like, kind of want you to answer this on your half, and, like, what's something that, you know, that you do that probably causes too much stress, and, like, video-wise, it might be something to do with editing, filming. What's something that, like, you can own up to and say, like, is a mistake that you make that you'd like to correct?
A mistake that I make that I'd like to correct. Give me an example of, like, someone's, like, give me an example. Like, I'm trying to struggling.
Well, for example, me, I take on too much client work and I never have time to do the personal projects that I want to do.
Okay, yeah, that's one of them, I'd say, yeah. Or, like, I'll just take on too many jobs that I'm just stressed. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, because you're planning for the shoot tomorrow, but then also planning for this shoot here, and you're also editing this guy's today, and then you've done his, so now tomorrow you need to do his changes, but then now you're on tomorrow's shoot, and then, like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I've done that too many times. I think another one is like, sometimes I think it's good to do like a shot list. Yeah. So this is more for like my higher production shoots I've done. I think because setup times take so long, it's just very good to just know what type of shots exactly that you want, rather than just going off the treatment and then on the day, like, I think I'll do like a performance here, gimbal shot, and then we'll just do a cutaway of like the girl going like that with her hair or something like that. I think, like, if you can nail down the exact shots you want, then I think you'll end up with a better video at the end of the day. And then anything else you might come up with on the day after that, you can maybe get it if you got time, and you get me? Yeah,
planning B-roll is definitely important, even for the run and gun shoots. Make sure you just get as much B-roll, because, like, there's nothing worse than coming to your desk, opening it up. You've got sick performance shots, but you got a 30-second intro of instrumental, and you ain't got no...
That is the worst, the 30-second intro of instrumental, you know,
I hate that.
You're the ones that you got to use probably, like, 7 pieces of the same clip. Just use a different little bits, maybe flip it on the horizontal flip or something, and then just, like, you know what I'm saying, or make it black and white this time, like...
Yeah, we live the same life.
Oh, my days.
Do you enjoy editing then? Is it something that you enjoy? I know a lot of filmmakers, like, they get into it and they just hate editing. They just want to shoot and then swing someone else to edit. They don't want to...
Yeah. Well, I think for me at the start, I didn't enjoy it at all. Sometimes I still don't enjoy it. I always say, like, I started editing just because I had to. Because when I first started, and there was a guy called Shay, and he was like a sick editor, like, for the time. And I don't know if he still even does it anymore, but I used to shoot and then he'd edit. So that's what we did for like my first 2 or 3 ever videos. But then it's like I was kind of like, I can't always rely on him, and obviously I wasn't really making that much money, and so I'd pay him, like, and I wasn't really getting that much even myself. So I was like, I need to learn this myself. Do you know what I mean? So I kind of just, I learned that way. But I think sometimes I like it though when I'm locked in. You know, like if I really really like the song, I like it. I like editing most if I really like the song. Like, this is something I'm gonna put on my Spotify and bang out in the car. Then like I can get into that zone and I'm like in it, and then I watch it back and then it's looking sick.
The audio cut out, but we're back, so let's get back into the next question. Yeah, talking about editing, is there any editing tips that you could give to people maybe starting out?
The first one I'd probably say is edit to the beat. If you're editing a song or a commercial or whatever, and the song's got like bass kicks and that, edit to the beat. That's like probably the most basic one. Because it just keeps it interesting and makes it flow well. And then I also say more in terms of like when you're shooting on the day, just make sure all your shots are intentional, like all your B-roll shots and all that type of stuff. Or like maybe certain points, you know, you might be able to add like a little camera whip, and then you whip in like to the next scene. Like, make everything intentional so that like when it gets to the editing suite, you kind of know what you're looking for, and you're not just got very random little bits. Like, you kind of know, like, okay, I remember I did a shot like this. That might feel good at this point. But yeah, I'm not an editor, man. Obviously, I just do clean cuts, basically. I just feel like a lot of the time when I do these shots, because they're intentional and because they're usually quite smooth, or it's this and that, like, it kind of just works. I just chop it all with the beat, and, you know, yeah.
When it comes to your concept vids and your more storyboard stuff, how do you go about coming up with the concepts of your videos?
It's just a feeling, man. It's just a feeling from like when I listen to it and I close my eyes and I listen to it a few times, like, and I just sometimes as well just try to listen out for what they're saying. Obviously, a lot of the time people are kind of saying similar stuff, but I don't know. I guess like maybe even like the rhythm of the beat and everything might make me feel a certain way. More recently, what I've been doing though is I'll go on to whatever site I use to make my treatments off. I usually use Shot Deck. Hopefully they'll give me my subscription for free for shouting them out now. But I usually use them, and I'll listen to the song as I'm just looking through stills from bare different movies. I won't even type anything in yet. I just look at different stills. And this still might make me feel something. It might feel connected to that. And then the whole color of it, the whole mood of it. And then I'm like, okay, that's my bass. That's my bass now. And then from there, everything will just come to me well, like nicely, innit? And then I'll just start putting all the pictures into the treatment from the different type of scenes I want. Then I'll start adding the text of like, okay, yeah, I want to like do this shot, close-up shot of this and all that type of stuff. So yeah, man, it's very much down to the song, innit? Like, if it's a good song that you rate, like, it's gonna come to you easily. Sometimes you get a song that sometimes you get a song you don't really like, and that's when it gets a bit techie. Obviously, you'd say just don't do the job, but get me.
What would you say is like one big positive of being a videographer?
Being your own boss to an extent. Yeah, being your own boss. Being able to, I think I said before, just, you know, make your ideas come to life, what you see. You get to see a lot, you know, you see a lot of things that the average person don't see. You get to meet, you know, some of your stars, the people that you really like, traveling out. Like, I flew out 7 times last year. And I guess you're kind of just cool with everyone as well to some kind of extent. You know, like the man that people are scared of and that on the block and that, like, you're cool with that guy and you're cool with this guy and you're cool with this guy and like, do you know what I mean? You're just like, yeah, man, it's lit, man. Yeah. I like this job.
What's some of the best advice that you've got?
Best advice for...
Not necessarily filmmaking, just life advice.
Oh, everything's within God's timing. You know, I'm a Christian, so I say everything within God's time, and you can't be wondering why this hasn't happened for you yet. You can't be looking at these people thinking that anyone that's done you wrong, eventually it will come to them. Anything you've done wrong, eventually it will come to you. Good things you've done, do you know what I mean? Like, everything is just within God's timing, I'd say. And just trust the process, you know. When things start going wrong, or it feels like they're going wrong, like, it's usually like the build up for something bigger and better to happen. Yeah, I'd probably say that.
On the flip side, what's the worst advice you've got?
The worst advice? The worst advice, I would probably say, saying you'll do things that you know you aren't gonna do. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Don't say something that you know you won't do, because I hate when people do that to me. Like, I didn't tell you to say you can do that for me, but now I've got in my head that, like, you're gonna pattern this now, and now you don't. It's like, well, what? Why did you say that? And now I know I can't rely on you. Yeah. So don't, like, shoot yourself in the foot by over promising. I guess.
Don't lie to people, and then don't lie to yourself. Like, yourself.
Yeah. Oh, so, and back to the better advice as well. With like what you said about with yourself thing, and it, like, talk to yourself with care as well. You know, like, say, like, don't, you know, when you say bad negative things about yourself and all that type of stuff, like, you manifest that stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, you need to, like, just positive mind, innit? Even when it's peak, just talk to yourself with care, man.
I'm gonna give you some rapid fire questions before we wrap up. So,
all right.
What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Premiere or Da Vinci?
Premiere or Da Vinci?
Or do you?
Premiere. I thought you were talking about, like, designer brands or something.
Nah.
Like, yeah. Premiere.
Early mornings or late nights?
Ooh, late nights.
Coffee or energy drinks?
Coffee.
Client work or personal projects?
Personal projects if I can do more of it, but client projects bring you the bread. It's all about the bread.
Abstract or traditional?
Abstract.
Use a 16mm for the rest of your life or a 50mm?
Oh, 16. 16.
Mac or Windows?
Windows.
I rate it.
Yeah.
Fashion or filmmaking?
Oh my God. Fuck, I'm gonna have to say filmmaking, but fashion.
Shooting or directing?
Ooh, I like them both. Shooting.
And that's pretty much all of the questions. Have you got any advice to people that are wanting to get into the music video scene but maybe a bit scared to enter it, or the people that are already in it and they're trying to grow?
Don't be scared, you know. That's the main thing. Just don't be scared. You gotta be fearless with it. And you know, if you haven't started it yet, there's like, everyone wants to be a rapper these days. Go shoot them a video for free or for super cheap. And if you have already started it as well and you're wanting to level up and that, just look at how you can make your videos different from the next guy. Look at how you can make it different from the last thing you've done as well. And obviously that's not gonna happen every single shoot, but just, like, you know, especially if you wanted to raise your price, why should this person now pay this? Because, like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, there has to be a reason behind it, everything. Everything has to be intentional. Back to that.
What's something, sorry, I know I said last question, but what's something that you're doing now that, not that you wish you did then, but something that you do now that's different to what you did back then? Creating videos.
I think, like, it's not so much the creating videos. I think it's just more the business side of things. Because that's something they don't really tell you, innit? Like, we're creatives. We're not really.
You become your own boss. And
yeah.
Now you do. Now you're an accountant.
Yeah. So I think it's just like understanding the business and thinking about that side of things more, and, you know, just protecting your energy as well. You know, like, you're around so many big egos and personalities. You can lose yourself in it. You just gotta remember, like, who you are, and, like, just and have your boundaries and stick to it and that type of thing. I think that's one of the main things I'm even still working on, you know. Yeah. No,
thank you for that. It was a good conversation. And where can they find you at? Where you socials?
You can find me on Instagram, blue.boredom, YouTube, Blue Boredom. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna plug.
All the links will be in the description.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time, bro.
Thank you, my guy.